So what we're going to be looking at today are our different exponents and rules that we can use to help us simplify and evaluate. So the first three that we're going to talk about today all deal with some form of multiplication. So looking at our first rule here, it's called a product of powers. So remember, when we hear the word product, that means multiplication. So what this is when we have a situation where our base is the same. So remember, the base is what our exponent is attached to. When the base is the same, we're able to keep the base and we would just add our exponent values. So for example, if I had 4 squared times 4 cubed, because I have the same base of 4, I would keep my 4 and add my powers. So looking at this, I would have 4 to the 5th power. And the reason why we add our exponents is because if we were to expand each term here, remember 4 squared means 4 times 4, and 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4. Well, if I look at how many 4s I have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 4 to the 5th power. The next rule we have here is called power of a power. So looking at this one, we're still dealing with multiplication. This time, when I have a base raised to a power, inside parentheses with another exponent, what we do is we keep our base and multiply those exponents. So let's say I have 3 cubed inside my parentheses to the power of 2. What I would do is keep my base and multiply my exponents. Well, in this case, that 3 times 2 gives us 3 to the power of 6. Now, the reason why this works is because if we were to expand this, my first exponent here says that I have 2 3 cubes. But if we expand that even further, inside we have 3 3s. And if I count them all up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have 3 being multiplied 6 times, or 3 to the power of 6. And now our last rule here is called power of a product. So this is when we're multiplying 2 terms inside parentheses and have an exponent on the outside. What we want to do is we want to share that exponent to everything inside. It's almost like we are distributing them to everything inside. So let's say I have 2 times 4 to the power of 2. I would rewrite this as 2 squared times 4 squared. And the reason why this works, if we were to expand it out again, is this square means I have 2 times 4 2 times. And if I look at how many times I have a 2 and how many times I have a 4, I have 2 times 2 times 4 times 4, which is 2 squared times 4 squared. So when in doubt, when we're dealing with multiplication of our powers, just take your base and expand it out. Because what we're able to do then is go in and count out how many base terms we have to be able to correctly match the exponent to it. So now, on the bottom of the worksheet, there's just practice. We're just going to simplify and write our answers using exponents. So we're not evaluating, we're just going to rewrite these with our new exponents. So take a second, try to simplify these, and then come back to the video to check your answers. Okay, so hopefully you finished the examples and you're coming back to check your answers. So again, what we were doing here was we weren't evaluating, we weren't getting an answer, we were just simplifying using our exponents. So when we look at the first 4, that dealt with our first rule up at the top. That dealt with our product of powers. We had the same base, so we added the exponents. So looking at number 1, we kept our 4, added our powers to get 4 to the 4th. Number 2, we kept our base of 8, added our powers to get 8 to the 7th. Number 3, we kept our base of -7, added our powers to get -7 to the 9th. And number 4, this time we had 3 2's here. And remember, when we're looking at a number without a visible exponent, there's just an invisible 1. So we'd keep our base of 2, and we would add up 4, 9, and 1 to get 2 to the power of 14. Now, our next 4 here dealt with our middle rule, our power of a power, where we have something raised and it's trying to raise it by a second power here. So we keep that base and multiply our powers. So number 5, we would keep our base of 7 and multiply our powers to get 7 to the power of 12. 6, we'd keep our base of -5, multiply our powers to get -5 to the 12th. Number 7 is actually, like our first rule, we keep our base of x, add our exponents to get x to the power of 6. Number 8, though, we can keep our base and multiply to get y to the 24th. And our last few were a little more challenging. These dealt with our power of a product. So remember, it's almost like distribution, where we want to share that the exponent to everything inside. So my 7 would get a square, my x would get a square, and my y would get a square. Number 10, we would share that power of 2 to my -10 and my x to the 6th power. But remember, when I have a power of a power, we multiply those out to get x to the power of 12. But we don't want to forget about this x squared on the outside. And since we already have a base of x, we can add those exponents together. So my simplified expression would be -10 squared times x to the 14th. Number 11 was similar to 9, where I'm just going to share this power of 3 to everything inside to get 5 cubed, p cubed, and q cubed. And then number 12, we were doing a lot of different steps here. So we could have started with our power of a product by making sure everything gets that power inside. So I get 3 cubed, and then my x to the 5th power, we're going to multiply that to get x to the 15th. Over here, I can share that power of 2 to everything to get 2 squared. And then my x to the 7th, we're going to multiply to get x to the 14th. Because I have 2 bases of the same x, and we're still trying to multiply everything, I can keep my base of x and add those powers together. So I have 3 cubed times 2 squared times x to the 29th.